The Republic of Palau is located 500 miles east of the Philippines. This Pacific island nation has an exclusive economic zone the size of France, covering an area of over 600,000 square kilometers. In 2012, the fisheries of the western Central Pacific Ocean caught an estimated 2.6 million tons of tuna, worth $7.2 billion. This represents 60% of the global tuna catch. Palau currently sells licenses to longline fishing fleets from Japan and Taiwan. This makes it about $5 million a year. This fishing, however, is generally unregulated with no reliable figures on total tuna caught or their market value. Shark fishing in Palau is of a major concern. Numerous illegal vessels have been apprehended by the patrol vessel donated by the Royal Australian Navy. In 2013, Palau's president, Tommy Remengsau Jr., declared his intentions to close Palau's territorial waters to foreign commercial fishing and asked for access to technology to monitor illegal vessels. As a member of the Fisheries Forum Agency, Palau has access to the Vessel Monitoring System, or VMS, which tracks all shipping activity within its exclusive economic zone.
As you are aware, we've only got the one boat. We have got two boats provided by the Nippon Foundation, but they're very limited in what they can cover. And we're looking for those smaller boats to cover the Rock Island areas and areas from the baseline, which is the coastline of Palau, out to around about 12 nautical miles. REMLEC will cover or continue to cover areas 12 nautical miles out to 200 nautical miles. There was a number of options. In fact, they were looking at introducing a radar capability along the coastline, but you're limited once again by range. Radar installation is good, but it can only project out to around about 15 nautical miles maximum. We also looked at an asset called Aerostat, which is a balloon with a radar fitted underneath. And these were used by the Americans over in Afghanistan, places like that, where they tether a balloon off a control point, and they put this balloon up some few thousand feet. I think that's variable, and this radar can give a 360 degree look. And of course, the higher it goes, the better the coverage. But the ones on the shoreline, the radar installations on the shoreline, would only go out to around about 15 miles, possibly a bit more. And we know that the fishing vessels aren't operating in close. They're operating around about the 20 plus miles. So you're not going to see those vessels with that sort of radar setup. Provided by the Aerosonde organisation. They came over here and gave a demonstration in November 2013. The demonstration was a takeoff and land capability, and also some aerial reconnaissance around Palau's coastline. I think the overall cost of the UAV was fairly significant. A figure of around $3 million was mentioned. Now I don't know whether that's just for the one or for the two. There's also ongoing issues with support for the UAV project with maintainers and also operators. When we talked to the Aerosonde organisation, we were looking at ship launch and recovery, which would be good, but you still need a console operator, an operator at sea, to control that UAV. The project is called Sea Dragon. This goes one step up from UAVs where they would provide a Cessna aircraft, and a pod would be pretty much fixed to this Cessna aircraft, and they'd also have an observer as well as the pilot. So you're basically going to have an aircraft with a capability to video and take still footage of a suspect fishing vessel. And of course, with an observer in the back, the overall coverage of Palau's EEZ is extended, where the UAV is only looking through a small lens camera, and someone came up with the idea that was like looking through a straw, whereas this you're going to have coverage out to 15, 18 all-round view. If you spot anything, you can get down in close, turn on the camera gear, record it. It's daytime stamped, so that alone is probably good enough for conviction if you can get good video footage of a fishing vessel operating illegally with shark seen on board. You can also get the licence number of the vessel, compare it to a licence list, and if that vessel is not on the list, then it's a suspect vessel and should be investigated further. So that is a very positive surveillance asset, I think, in comparison to the UAV, definitely. Wave glider is a system which uses the action of the waves to power it, and we can send out a number of these wave glider assets. They pretty much operate on the surface of the water. They go out, they listen, and using cross-referencing from a number of these wave glider assets, they can determine a vessel's position and how it's actually operating. So the slower a vessel moves and it's moving in a defined pattern would indicate that vessel is possibly fishing and needs to be investigated further. The only downfall I see with wave glider is you're going to need a lot of these units operating in an area to get a good surveillance picture of Palau's waters. We already have a system in place called a Vessel Monitoring System, which you're probably aware of, VMS. We can look at Google Earth, the Google Earth picture now with VMS operating, and we can get a good idea of where the fish are, and of course the boats are going to go where the fish are. We would then send the aircraft up and we would look at all fishing vessels in that area, and once again, as I said, the observer will have a licence list. He will cross-check the licence list against vessels observed, and any vessel which doesn't appear on that list will then be interrogated further. And then we can send Remlick out to look at those vessels.
At the 45th Pacific Island Forum in August 2014, Palau's president summarised the challenges the country faced.
Action facilitates adaptation to a rapidly changing environment and recognizes that what works best for one community or country may not work best for another. One shoe certainly does not fit all, but it is important that the sum of the parts makes a difference in sustaining our marine ocean resources.